Καλησπέρα Μελβούρνη, φίλες και φίλοι. Απόψε έχω τη χαρά και τη μεγάλη τιμή να σας πάω μέχρι το Normanby Reception, όπου εκεί έγινε μια εκδήλωση για να παρουσιαστεί ένα βιβλίο από τον αγαπητό φίλο Μιχάλη Αρκαλή. Ο Μιχάλης Αρκαλής είναι ένα παιδί 28 χρονών, ο οποίος διαγνώστηκε πριν λίγο καιρό με κάποια εγκεφαλική πάθηση. Δεν το έχει βάλει κάτω, προσπαθεί, αγωνίζεται και μοιράζεται τις εντυπώσεις και τις εμπειρίες του με όλους εμάς. Ας πάμε λοιπόν να δούμε τι έγινε σε αυτή την εκδήλωση.
On behalf of my family, I want to thank the Stavrakis family, especially George, Georgia and their parents for hosting tonight. It is very generous that we're all here and we are eternally grateful. We cannot thank you enough. George is, well, the whole family, but George is very well known to us, so is Georgia. But George was the MC and DJ at my wedding. So if anyone needs any services, there he is. So before I get into the part of the night that is going to make me cry, I'm going to tell you a bit about Michael. Michael, he's a pretty amazing guy. He loves a story and he loves to add a little bit of sauce when he's telling it. So you never know, are you getting the real story or are you getting like, yeah, with a bit of spice. But in this book that Michael has written about his life, he shares his story plainly. And if anything, he leaves out details of his trauma and he downplays his bravery in facing countless brain surgeries and his own mortality for over 2 decades. Michael is a walking miracle, and we thank God for watching over Michael. And I will give you a small example that is not mentioned in his book, but he briefly kind of glosses over. Michael, during a brain surgery, had a brain bleed, and the family was told to prepare themselves for the worst. And then when the medical team went to do a scan, that had somehow miraculously disappeared. We can't explain that, and we thank God for looking after Michael. I want to thank Michael's medical team. He has a very solid group of people who, some of which have been on the journey with him since the beginning. Michael's oncologist, Dr. Wheeler, has prepared some words which we can't screen today, but I will share with you later through the microphone. Dr. Wheeler talks about Michael's strength and how hard he fights every day. There's a few other people I want to thank. We could be here all night thanking people, but the Randall family, I know they're here somewhere. They have given Michael so much joy in the last 3 years. They have exposed him to travelling around Australia with supercars and really given him a new network of friends and support, and that means a lot to us and to Michael. So without thanking everyone all night, I might just give you some final reflections from me, his older sister. I've had the joy of watching Michael grow up, face life's challenges, and somehow keep his heart open through it all. Tonight, we are not just celebrating a book, but we are celebrating courage, we're celebrating vulnerability, and a voice that has finally found its way onto the page. For over 20 years, our family has walked beside Michael on his journey with cancer. We have sat in waiting rooms and we have held our breath during test results, we have cried, and we have laughed together. And yet, this is something I have learned so deeply. Walking beside someone is not the same as walking in their shoes. You can love someone with your whole heart and still never fully know what they carry inside. The fear, the fatigue, the quiet moments of strength, and the ache of feeling different. The effort it takes just to keep going day after day. And that is what makes this book so powerful. Michael has opened up a window into his world, a world that many of us have tried to understand but could never truly see until now. And through these pages, he invites us in. he shows us not only the pain, but the humour, the grit and the beauty too. It is an honest book, it's raw and it's full of the kind of hope that doesn't deny how hard life can be, but it chooses to keep moving forward anyway, and that's what Michael does every day.
When Michael asked me to speak today, I was absolutely delighted. I feel honoured to be a small part of such a special day and sharing my thoughts with you all. As I stand here looking out at all of you, it's a wonderful testament to your achievement, Michael. It really is. It's a true validation of your efforts to produce this book. I can't wait to read it. Michael and I first met way back when. I don't like to think about how old I am now. I feel like I've known Michael forever. I don't know about you, Michael. You feel like you've known me forever? Yeah. And of course, I can't neglect to mention Michael's amazingly supportive family, all of you. The first day I met Michael, I waited in the corridor at Penders Grove Primary School to meet my new student. And the day was fairly quiet as all the students were in class, and all I could hear was this squeak, squeak, clump coming up the corridor, and that was Michael. And all of a sudden he came into view. He was a little man with a head of curls, big eyes, and a winning smile, including a quirky sense of humour. Michael and I hit it off like a house on fire. Michael had a keen interest in aircraft, including helicopters. Michael was in prep, so Michael was just so little compared to now, he's so big. But he always seemed to be happy when we were together. We had a lot of laughs, we had some very silly chats, we had good conversation, a really good working environment together. So I just can't believe I've known him for as long as I have, and I wonder where all the years have gone. Michael developed a quiet or silent determination to achieve steadily at his own pace, especially as he moved through the school system, learning to understand what the thing inside his head was doing to him and how he could work around it. And it took, I don't think we ever really fully understood. Well, I never really fully understood. I still don't. But he had a really gritty determination, and he did things and he got things done. And if people said, try something else, Michael always tried what he wanted, and I really respect him for that.
Για τις πιο δύσκολες ώρες σας, είμαστε κοντά σας. Παναγιώτης Τζιότσης, Orthodox Funeral Services. Με κατανόηση, συνέπεια και επαγγελματισμό, όπως απαιτούν οι περιστάσεις. Παναγιώτης Τζιότσης, Orthodox Funeral Services. Τηλέφωνο 03 95 68 58 58.
Hello everybody, and firstly, thank you, Michael, for inviting me to be part of tonight. It's really special. I'll tell you a little bit about our foundation. I'll tell you how I got to know Michael and all the wonderful things he does, which I think some of you know, but it's just nice to hear about again. So in 2013, our 18-year-old son Connor passed from brain cancer. You can tell that we're an American family, and we moved here in 2000. And Connor was, I think you've dealt with your brain cancer a long, long time, much longer than Connor did. Connor was, you know, normal. When I say that, what kid is normal, actually? But, you know, for all intents and purposes, he was the big brother. He had another brother, Nick, and a sister, Hannah. And we were an American family, and we lived in the Bayside suburbs, and Connor was very engaged with his school at Brighton Grammar, and so was his brother and his sister at Burbank, and he was busy. He was very bright. His brain really defined him. He loved reading. He was a voracious reader. He loved spelling. He, for some reason, had a gift of spelling, rarely spelled a word wrong. Did not inherit that from me. He had things like pi memorized to 100 digits, you know, the circumference of a circle, 3.14. He loved language. He was really adept at Latin and loved music of all descriptions. So really his brain defined him. And then all of a sudden, things started getting a bit funny. And sadly, it took us a while, but Connor was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And his wonderful neurosurgeon, brain surgeon, actually is here tonight because he lives near Michael, and Michael had a chance. So, Mr. Peter McNeil, very special to have you here. I think it's really special, the medical community. They see a lot of patients. They're very, very busy, and Peter did all that he could for Connor, but unfortunately the type of tumor Connor had, something called ependymoma, was just the type he had. It was just going to be difficult, and sadly, we knew that, but we just did the best we could, as you do. And I thought your sister was really good. You can walk alongside somebody, but you really don't know what it's like to walk in their own shoes. And Connor, I said he loved music, and one of the songs he loved was Bob Marley, the Three Little Birds song. And he repeated that to us, the chorus, which is "Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's gonna be all right." And that's such a lovely thing for an 18-year-old boy to be telling his family, as we're all literally feeling devastated at what was going on with him. And after he passed, we thought, well, what now? Because it was a year and a half of solidly supporting him. And I had said to him when he was, you know, going through all this, maybe we should start a foundation. Connor was 18, always treated as an adult, never actually went into the Royal Children's or Monash Children's, but he had radiation at Peter Mac with Greg Wheeler, who, that's how we got to know Michael. And there was a little girl there getting treated at the same time, and it was devastating for Connor. He couldn't bear it. We were on the same schedule. We were there for 6 or 7 weeks, 5 days a week, all in order. She was there most of those days. And Connor every single time said, I can't bear that this little girl is going through what I'm going through. And I kept thinking, well, I can't bear that my 18-year-old son is going through this. So when he passed and we thought we'll start a foundation, I knew we wanted to help kids, even though he himself wasn't treated as a child. I believe maybe his tumor had been growing for a long time, and it just felt that's what Connor would want us to do, and I'm so glad he inspired that. So we're the RCD Foundation, Connor's initials, Robert Connor Dawes, and we focus on research, care, and development. So has anybody here done Connor's Run with Michael? Oh yes, a few, good, a few of the fam. This year you're all invited, yes, Michael? Everybody's invited. And Michael's been a long time supporter of that. So Connor ran once from our home to the boat sheds in the city. He hated running. So if you're already hearing the word run and shaking your head, no, not for me. I am one of those as well. So we like the walkers, talkers, jump, hop, skip, jump. We don't mind. It's a lovely course. It's all along the bay and into the boat sheds. It's really lovely. Now we have a little 3 little bird loop. So that's very easy. You can just come to the finish and just do a loop from there. How I met Michael was, I think, originally through Greg Wheeler. Greg has something called a late effects program. So when he treats a young person and they survive, which is wonderful, after you've been radiated, it's not great. There's all sorts of side effects from that. So Greg started a program to really stay in touch with those kids then that became young people, and Michael was one. And he rang me one day and said, oh, I've got this young man. I think he'd really, enjoy meeting you and getting involved. So that was that. And then there was another, Kohl's was a big sponsor of ours. And do you remember, I think, was it Burke Street or somewhere in the city where the Kohl's was, they were doing a sausage sizzle. And I don't know if you were working as a paramedic or... Oh, going to uni. Okay, so he walked by, saw our sign, became friends with that Kohl's, and they just went nuts. They just, Michael became sort of their, the one that they were championing and got totally behind it. And that particular Coles raised lots and lots of money, all inspired by Michael, which is no surprise. So we're really busy helping kids with just all aspects. So from their testing, getting better, faster clinical trials, helping in the radiation space, we're helping a pilot, giving a metformin drug, so if anybody has diabetes, that's shown to help some of the cognitive effects. There's all sorts of things that we're involved in, but we love our fundraising, and we like the capital F, capital U, capital N, to keep it fun. And Michael makes such an effort. Like, I was very happy to come here, but we do live far away from each other, don't we? And one of the things that I think it was made perfectly clear with the teacher is that Michael is a connector. I think he brings people together, and he makes an effort. And I think those are two, yes, Michael, you make a massive effort. And I think that it's people like Michael, our whole team adores Michael. Nothing is, and he calls and wants to get engaged, and he asks questions, and he, comes to Connor's Run and the events that we have. And it's a community, isn't it? We've got our own community where Michael will know lots of the people involved, and it's a place where he feels like these are his people, really, because everybody has been impacted by brain cancer. Obviously, through a young person that's living with it, having gone through it, or a family who sadly has, like we have, lost a child. But we're all in it together, and I really think that I can't understate that the impact that Michael is having to help ignite our cause and keep people interested and wanting to move the needle forward, so we can try to help the next young person diagnosed, really help them have a better life. So I just want to say thank you, Michael, for being such a big part.
Για τις πιο δύσκολες ώρες σας, είμαστε κοντά σας. Παναγιώτης Τζιότσης, Orthodox Funeral Services. Με κατανόηση, συνέπεια και επαγγελματισμό, όπως απαιτούν οι περιστάσεις. Παναγιώτης Τζιότσης, Orthodox Funeral Services. Τηλέφωνο 03 95 68 58 58.
Τα νέα στην Μελβούρνη, Greek News 24. Πώς θα μάθω τι γίνεται στην παροικία μας, Greek News 24. Μάθε τα νέα στην Ελλάδα, στην Αυστραλία και σε όλο τον κόσμο. Greek News 24. Έγκαιρα και έγκυρα.
For everybody that doesn't know me, I'm Penelope, Michael's godmother. I just want to say how proud we are of Michael. He's a fighter, he's a carer, and we love him. And congratulations on your great achievement, and we hope you write more books, and good luck for the future. And 3 cheers for Michael, please. Hip hip. Hip hip.
How special is that? Michael's got 2 mothers, one in Dora and one in Penny. So I'm going to try and play Dr. Wheeler, who we've heard a lot about tonight, his speech. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll hand over to the big man.
My name is Greg Wheeler. I'm a radiation oncologist at Epimélεια. I'm sorry I can't be there tonight for the launch of Michael's book. I'm on the way to Hobart to do a clinic tomorrow. It's been a real privilege to be part of Michael's care for the last 23 years and watch him grow from the quirky young kid that he was to a quirky young man that he is now. He has battled very hard over the years, faced numerous operations, numerous courses of chemotherapy and radiation, and the way he's kept his positive attitude through it all has been inspiring to not just me but all of us here at Epimélεια, at the Royal Children's Hospital and the Royal Melbourne Hospital. Michael's book is amazing, and I'm very humbled to have read it. I have my autographed copy just there. He certainly has a burgeoning career as an author because he has a beautiful turn of phrase, and I think he can be very proud of it. I'd also like to pay tribute to Michael's amazing family. It takes more than just one person to get through all these battles, and I know they've been with him every step of the way, and it's clear when you meet them that the love and support they have for Michael and the rest of the family is incredible. So, thank you for letting me be part of the book launch. I'm sorry I can't be there. It's been such an honour to be involved in your care over the years, and hopefully will be for a long time to come.
Pretty amazing to hear from everyone tonight and from Michael's doctors. He's had a big impact on all of our lives, but now it's time to hear from him. So can we welcome him to the stage?
I am very overwhelmed. I'm going to need like 30 seconds to organize myself.
Μιχάλη, καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα, πώς πάτε?
Ωραία. Βλέπω κρατάς ένα βιβλίο στα χέρια σου. Για πες μας, τι είναι αυτό?
Αυτό είναι το μέμουα που έχω φτιάξει γιατί έχω κένσα στο κεφάλι και ήθελα να φτιάξω να γράψω κάτω πώς το λες, my life.
Τη ζωή σου.
Τη ζωή μου και να δείξω, να μπορώ να δείξω τον κόσμο πώς μπορείς να είσαι μεγάλος όταν έχεις κάτι τόσο μεγάλο στο κεφάλι σου και
δίνεις ένα μεγάλο αγώνα.
Να έχεις δύναμη. Γιατί στη ζωή μου έχω πάρει πολύ δύναμη από αυτό το υγρό στο κεφάλι και αισθάνομαι πιο μεγάλο, δεν ξέρω πώς να το πω.
Αισθάνεσαι πιο δυνατός.
Πιο δυνατός, ναι.
Και σήμερα μαζεύτηκαν όλοι εδώ οι φίλοι σου πάρα πολύ. Αυτό δεν σε γεμίζει με αγάπη?
Πολύ αγάπη, πολύ αγάπη. Πολύ χαρούμενος ήμουνα. Δεν μπορώ να πω σε λέξη πώς μου τόσο πολύ που μου κάνει που είμαι χαρούμενος γιατί πάω να κλάψω.
Και πολύ συγκινημένος.
Ευχαριστώ.
Από την αγάπη του κόσμου και των φίλων σου. Ήταν όλοι οι φίλοι σου σήμερα εδώ?
Ναι, όλοι οι φίλοι μου. Από 100 πόντους, παραπάνω 100 πόντους. Πολύ ωραίο. Ευχαριστώ που ήρθατε όλοι. Ευχαριστώ που μου κάνετε support. Αυτό το cancer δεν είναι καλό, but έχω φίλοι και φίλους και family και οι αποπούδες, everybody μου έρχονται
που σε βοηθούν.
Μου βοηθούν. Η καρδιά μου είναι full.
Από αγάπη.
Από αγάπη, ναι.
Δεν μας δείχνεις το βιβλίο να το δει και ο κόσμος που μας βλέπει?
Αυτό το λένε it's all in my head.
Είναι όλα στο μυαλό δηλαδή?
Όλα στο μυαλό, ναι.
Τελικά ο άνθρωπος κατορθώνει να κάνει τα πάντα γιατί όλα τελικά είναι στο μυαλό?
Ναι, όλα τελικά είναι στο μυαλό και άμα βάλεις το μυαλό σε κάτι μπορείς να κάνεις και άμα βάλεις το μυαλό σε κάτι μπορείς να κάνεις ό,τι θέλεις στη ζωή.
Ακόμα και θαύματα.
Ναι. θαύματα.
Πες κάτι στον κόσμο που μας παρακολουθεί.
Ο Θεός αγαπάει. Ευχαριστώ όλοι που μας... Μπορείς να κάνεις edit.
Ναι.
Ευχαριστώ όλοι που ήρθατε σήμερα στη book launch. Ο Θεός είναι δύναμος, έχει δύναμη
και να σας έχει όλους καλά.
Ναι, να σας έχει όλους καλά. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Το ελληνικό μου δεν είναι πολύ καλά, μπορώ να μιλήσω λίγα.
Πάντως είναι καλύτερα γιατί τα δικά σου ελληνικά είναι καλύτερα από τα δικά μου τα αγγλικά.
Ναι.
Οπότε μια χαρά είσαι.
Μια χαρά είμαι.
Θες να πεις κάτι άλλο?
Ζήτω η Ελλάδα.
Ωραίος. Να ευχαριστήσουμε τη Γεωργία και τον Γιώργο Σταυράκη που έκαναν αυτή την υπέροχη εκδήλωση και όλους αυτούς που βρέθηκαν αυτό το βράδυ εκεί και υποστήριξαν τον Μιχάλη Αρκαλή. Από μένα το Σωτήρη Σωτηρόπουλο, μέχρι την επόμενη εβδομάδα, γεια σας και χαρά σας.